Welcome to Story Time with me, Miss Sheila. I hope you're having a wonderful and beautiful day. Today's story is called Books by Horseback. Is that not cool? Can't even imagine someone riding their horse to bring books. I think that's cool. Let's find out. The Kentucky dawn is gray and chilly, but Edith is already awake and pasting a torn book. She promised 8-year-old William that she would bring him an adventure story today. There's her horse. Edith is a Packhorse Librarian. Every day she travels for miles to deliver books. William lives far back in the mountains. Edith will have to ride hard to reach his family's cabin. Means hard, I think when it means hard, it means a long way. Edith laces her boots and slaps on her hat as she stuffs storybooks, magazines, and her lunch into her book sack. She hears the distant crack of thunder. Here you hear the wind, and it's supposed to rain today, but hopefully it won't while I'm reading this book. Oh, there's an airplane, I think. Looks like a storm is coming, Dan, Edith says. Dan nickers as she hoists his saddle. We better hurry. See, and the clouds are getting dark. Dan picks his way down the steep slope to Troublesome Creek. Edith and Dan slide and slip, scrambling in the slick mud. Ooh, he got down. Water splashes up onto Dan's chest. Edith grips the book sack tight. If books get wet, they'll be ruined. Past the creek, Penny Knob Ridge thrusts its shoulder into the sky. But Edith is not afraid. She climbed these slopes since she's been a little girl. Those are steep slopes. Dan surges forward, straining, climbing towards the top of the ridge. High above them, he snorts and blows. His ribs heave. You can do it, Dan. You can do it. Oh, the sun's coming out. But Dan has to stop. Penny Knob is too steep and Edith is too heavy. Edith lashes the book sack to the saddle. She slides down and hugs Dan's damp neck. Edith leads Dan up the ridge. Thorny branches slap at her knees. Rocks slide under her feet, tumbling down to Troublesome Creek. We're about there, Dan. At the top, Edith and Dan rest and breathe. The sun peeks out from behind the storm clouds and warms their faces. See them at the top right there? Isn't that cool? Edith pulls out her lunch, 2 biscuits and some ham. Dan snuffles at the fresh grass. Hit the rumpled mountains spread out below them. Edith can just see the Caldwell's cabin nestled in the holler 3 miles away. Oh, do you see closely? There's the cabin with smoke. They're waiting for the books. Partway down the other side of Penny Knob, a little spring bubbles. Edith is thirsty. She drinks and splashes the cool limestone water against her hot face. Look at that. Flash of lightning slashes across the sky. Dan jumps as thunder booms, echoing through the hills. Easy boy, she says. She pats his neck as the rain starts. The wind rises to a scream, bending the treetops. Edith pulls on her coat as rain drips off the brim of her hat and pelts Dan's rump. Come on, Dan, Edith shouts. She slaps his shoulder with the reins. Dan springs into a gallop. Look at him galloping. Crash! A tree smashes down right in front of them. No time to stop. Edith and Dan clear in one spectacular leap. Oh, so that's what he's. Look at. That's incredible. For him to even see that tree fell and then catch it in time to like leap over it. The bookwoman's here! The bookwoman is here! William shouts. He and his sister Ruth are waiting on the cabin porch. I knew she wouldn't forget. Edith and Dan trot into the yard, breathing hard. Mr. Caldwell hurries to open the barn door for Dan. Did you bring me an adventure story? Williams asks. Of course I did. And Edith hands down the book sack so that they can choose. And I have a pawpaw pudding recipe for you, Mrs. Caldwell. Outside, the rain beats against the cabin walls, but inside, Edith pulls a chair close to the wood stove. Mrs. Caldwell hands her a mug of coffee, and she opens the storybook and starts to read. Wow, isn't that cool? Oh, that's so neat. William and Ruth crowd against Edith's knee as she tells the story of a magic sword buried in a stone. Even Mr. Caldwell listens. By the time she's finished, the storm has passed. Wow. Edith still has more families to visit. The creeks are going to be extra dangerous after the rain. Mounted again, Edith waves goodbye. The children are waiting, Dan, Edith says. Let's go. Wow. So this is like the back of the book says just stuff about how it actually used to be, like in the West and stuff, like when there was a librarian that would ride the books to the people's houses on horseback. I just think that's so cool. It's the first time I ever heard of that. It's very interesting. I hope you enjoyed it too. Until next time with me, Miss Sheila, keep shining your light bright. Bye for now.